A few of the yard superstars, we're going to touch on 4 or 5 in this section, and we're going to start with Slugger, and what a little legend he has been for the team. Just go through his season last season. So he joined the Harry Derham racing team at the beginning of the season and started off with a hat-trick of wins. He then went on and finished 4th in the coveted Moorbattle hurdle, and then ran a career best when finishing 2nd in the conditionals handicap hurdle at Aintree's Grand National Festival. He earned over £40,000 in prize money last season, and he never failed to finish out the placings since joining your team, Harry. You must be so proud of his performances, especially that one at Aintree. I think he gave £8 away to the winner, so a career best.
Yeah, he was a little star. Very kind, good-natured horse. Dave Armstrong, Danny Willett and Lee Westwood very kindly sent him to me at the start of the season, which was absolutely fantastic. I'd known Dave for a while on the Northern tracks and always had a chat and got on well with him, and didn't know Lee or Danny, but it was great that they got involved. And I think we probably were fortunate that we picked him up at a good time in his life. Like, he'd always been a bit headstrong and a little bit keen. He's not an old horse, and my theory on his improvement was that he had obviously had a season of racing where he'd worked out that actually I don't need to pull quite as hard as I do. And as horses get older, they mature and they get stronger and they get better. And he'd always been a hold-up horse. And about a month before Carlisle, we took him to Salisbury actually, and Paul rode him, and I said, Paul, I just want you to gallop him on your own with nobody else around. And because sometimes I think hold-up horses, when they're keen, they don't quite know even why they're keen. They're just keen for the sake of it. And I think horses get into this habit of just being keen. And all of a sudden, if you just put them in front, they've never, they're so used to just jumping off and being keen because, well, that's what I do. And then I think as a result, they feel comforted by the fact that jockey has them like this, and that's what they want to do. And all of a sudden, he was going around Salisbury, and Paul said he was kicking him the whole way because he's like, well, there's no horse in front of me, and I'm not pulling. And anyway, the last furlong, I said to Paul, I wanted to work him really hard, and he galloped past me, and he galloped out through the line. And I thought, right, we might just have the job there, and popped him out at Carlisle, and I'd say we were. I remember travelling up in the lorry that day, and I said to Amy, Dean's my travelling head girl, I said, I genuinely cannot see a way this horse gets beat. And he jumped beautifully that day, and he just kept progressing, didn't he? Like, he's just a grand, honest, tough little horse, and I was gutted for him at Aintree. He actually sustained an injury that day, which he's had to have a couple of screws into a joint, but he's fine. His recovery's going well. He's back up at Dave's now, and hopefully he can go chasing sort of maybe Christmas onwards.
Oh great, so that'll be the plan for him now?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's done very well over hurdles, but Dave is ambitious for him to go chasing. I don't see any reason why he can't. But he's already done very, very well, from where he started off to where he got to. He ran a fantastic race in the Moorbattle. I think, looking back, I probably asked Paul to be a bit too positive, but we'd ridden him so positively and it had worked. Now, Paul got a perfect position just on the rail behind one in the Moorbattle. Winner came from quite far back, they went very hard, and he actually ran a very good race that day. But I think perhaps if I'd asked Paul to just ride the horse rather than the race, we might have finished a bit closer. But he's turned into a thoroughly likeable horse, and who knows, he might turn into a really smart 2-mile chaser.
Paul, what's he like to ride? Because obviously Harry mentioned that he can be quite free and keen in his races. When you first sat on him that day at Carlisle, what was going through your head?
That race actually worked out very, very smoothly for me. There wasn't a lot of other pace. As Harry said, we were going to change tack a little bit from what he had been doing and just let him roll away. And he went around with his ears pricked, really. And when I asked him to go and win his race up the hill and pushed him out, he stayed really well, which I wasn't sure he would do, because he sometimes looks a little bit awkward with a slightly high head carriage, but no, I couldn't have knocked his willingness that day.
And as you say, riding him prominently just seems to be the key to success. Yeah,
he just seems to relax, and I thought he was well placed as well. Then he went up to Musselburgh and was it twice?
Doncaster, then Musselburgh, and then Newsday.
Alice winning him. And then, yeah, big step up for the Moorbattle, but he probably at that point ran a career best and then bettered it again at Aintree. So yeah, he was very progressive all from start to finish as well, and like a few others that we had.
Ed, Slugger is by Okavango, who is a super solid national hunt sire, produced multiple graded winners over his time. What characteristics would you say that Okavango brings to his property?
Yeah, he's actually producing a lot of winners. He came over from Ireland to stand at the Skelton's Unpack stud, and he's had a lot of winners since then. When they get into a battle, they can be tough. I mean, Langer Dan's a bit of an enigma. You don't see him at his best all the time, but when he does get into a scrap, he's very, very good. Champ Kylie's another good example, but he's well capable of producing good horses, and he's been a good success for the Skeltons at Orme Park, and I think Slugger's he's been pretty honest this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he just has that head carriage.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's not trying, but I'm sure he's given his best. You can't win 3 and run as well as he's done all season if you're ungenuine, I don't think.
Yeah, from the front as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But so much to look forward to with him next season. We must give a quick shout out to Dom, who rides him every day and absolutely adores him.
Dommy Cruz, yeah. Water skiing off Slugger up the gallows.
I'd say that goes a package now.
But as you say, so much to look forward to and exciting to see him go over a fence next season.
Yeah, we just need to get him back.
Yeah.
As long as his rehab keeps going well, which it is currently, then I hope we get him back in good form.